So we're just going to kind of go down this river now.
Oh my God, that's so beautiful
See what's in
bird.
the spot.
They dry their wings.
Wow.
After they've been in the
Yep,
water,
that's a
they dry their
female
wings.
Anhinga there. And the reason I can tell she's female from here, if you look at her neck, it's a kind of a light brown color. That's the female. The males are all black. Now, the main difference between that one and a cormorant is this one's beak is straight and sharp like a spear. So when she goes underneath the water, she spears the fish. The cormorant's beak turns down at the very end, and that gives him the ability to grab fish as opposed to spear them. And that's the main difference between the two. Quiet back here today. For a Sunday, Sundays can be kind of either or out here. If you get into a holiday Sunday out here, it gets pretty darn busy. There's a lot of kayakers. Today, not so much.
See anything special?
No, just a few gators in the car.
Yep, it's kind of the same thing here. All right, I'll let you know if I see something.
This
Beautiful.
eelgrass I was pointing out a minute ago, when it dies, it floats to the top and floats down the river. You can see several stalks in front of us out there. But sometimes it gets caught up in places like this one on the left here. And then that's all sitting there, that's floating, and it's all dead eelgrass. The only reason I'm bringing this up is because alligators love sitting in the middle of that. They like just kind of wiggling in all that stuff. They can kind of hide themselves in there. Plus they can get some sun, and that's what they like to do. So watch these areas as we go down the river. You might see some more gators. Now, if it's monkeys you're looking for, look everywhere. And I mean on the left, on the right. They could be further down the river. They might not be in this strip at all. We just don't know. I saw some monkeys yesterday. When we got down about a little further than this, but not much further, they were actually on the right. But that's not saying they're going to be there today. Keep your eyes open. Keep looking in those trees. You just never know. They're the hardest to spot, but once you get onto them, they're easier to see, and they're the most rewarding. They're fun to watch.
Those with the red beaks right there.
Those are called moorhens, those little guys right there. They spend their entire life around the water, but they don't have webbed feet. They just have regular little.
They look like little ducks.
Yeah, they do. They look like ducks. Those are called moorhens. Man, it's quiet out here today. Nice. Let me give you a little tip on how to spot some stuff, and this is
If it
kind of
falls,
cheating,
it's
but it
gone.
works. I like to watch the kayakers. Now, we don't have a lot of those around here today, but there's some up in front of us. And watch their behavior. Just you don't have to stare at them, but I'm just saying watch them, because if they see some monkeys or something like that, they're going to be pointing up in the trees. They're going to be taking pictures up in the trees. You start seeing them acting like that, we'll go over and investigate. Same thing for manatees. They're going to be looking all down in the water, and they're going to be trying to, get themselves in position to watch them. So I watch those guys pretty closely.
That's the other wildlife to watch.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. A lot of different things going on down this river. You'd be surprised.
So the kayakers, can they get out of the kayaks through here or no?
No, they're not supposed to.
Okay.
They're not supposed to. Yeah.
I didn't think
This is the only state park in all of Florida that does not allow swimming.
Yeah.
And in fact, they don't allow swimming, snorkeling, diving, fishing, none of that. And how that happened is we had a park director for many years. She was a pretty tough cookie, but she was very environmentally conscious, and she didn't want anything touched, and I mean nothing. So she didn't. Now they used to allow swimming here many years ago, but until she came on board, she stopped all that. However, she's retired. She retired last year, and there's already rumors running around now that they're going to open up some areas for swimming here.
Really?
But so at this point, it's still just a rumor, but it's hard to say what's going to happen.
I can understand
Absolutely, I can understand it too. Yep.
that would be attractive.
It would. And she was so adamant about some of this stuff that people always ask me, what happens when a tree falls down and blocks your way? Well, she wouldn't do anything about it. The only time she would do something about it is if it was absolutely blocking our way going down this river. But other than that, if it just was kind of in the way, they won't touch it. Lots of turtles in there, another big ibis. The turtles, again, those are slider turtles. We have 3 varieties of those little guys. Those are called, we have them red-bellied, orange-bellied, and yellow-bellied sliders. Now guys, this river we're going down today is called the Silver River. And this river is made up entirely of spring water. All this water you're looking at is coming from the springs. Now this river extends downstream about 5 miles. At the 5-mile mark, it runs into a larger river called the Ocala River. Then it continues to flow down the Ocala for a few more miles, but not a long distance, not a great deal of distance. And then the Ocala runs into a major river here in Florida called the St. Johns. And the St. Johns runs north all the way up to Jacksonville, goes into Jacksonville, and then finally out to sea. This water in front, where you're looking at right now, guys, has about a 150-mile journey in front of it, and it takes about a week to a week and a half before all this water you're looking at will be in the Atlantic Ocean. Yep. With all this beautiful fresh water is going to be salt water before you know it. If you notice, there's a big private boat with a big pontoon boat up there in front of you. A lot of people want to know why they allow that, and they do. Ever since the state bought this ground in 2013, they have opened it up for private travel. And you can propel that boat any way you want. You can do it with gasoline or electricity or however you want. They don't care. The only restriction that private boat has is that he has to stay at idle speed. He cannot produce a wake, and that guy's doing really well. He's going along nice and slow. I have seen jet skis down this river. I've even seen airboats come down this river.
Wow.
And it's ridiculous, but I don't see that very often. Now, the airboats, I have to admit, the ones I have seen, they turn off their fan and they use a little trolling motor because the fan makes them go too fast. of year, we're about to kind of turn a corner as far as how many birds we see, because they all start coming in here. Some of them are migratory birds, and other ones are just like to go north a little ways in the summer. They all start coming back right about now. We'll see great blue herons. We'll see big white